What's up, guys? How's everyone doing? Thanks for tuning back into my YouTube channel. I know it's been a little while, but sometimes I feel the call to take a break, then come back, and here I am. So thank you for coming back, tuning back in. In this video, I want to talk about coming back to center. And just like this, in all my videos, there are things that I'm going through or am experiencing, and it's just as therapeutic for me to share as it is for people to receive these messages, you know? Yeah, and especially living in the world today in 2021. This is July 2021. 5 more days. Can you believe it? Especially in these times, there's a lot of energy that will have you go down a rabbit hole that you don't necessarily need to go down. And when you come back to your center, and there's many ways to do this, and I'll go into some, you're returning to your neutral, natural state. There's no more distortions in your lens. There's no more limiting belief smudges or illusions that will convince you to act in a way that doesn't fully honor who you are, that limits you in some way, that has you act from a fear point of view. So, for example, today I took about 2 hours and just sat with myself. You can call it meditation. I don't necessarily do this for 2 hours. I listen to lo-fi sometimes, and again, sometimes my eyes are open, sometimes my eyes are closed. I don't like to do it very rigidly because that is just kind of perpetuating, at least for me, the school system where you had to sit still for many hours upon many hours a day. So I don't do it like that. It's okay if you do meditate very strictly like that and don't move your body. I usually move my body. Sometimes I'll lay down. But the point is, I wasn't on my phone. I wasn't on Instagram. I wasn't on Grindr. I wasn't on, YouTube. I wasn't on my text messages or my email for 2 hours, basically. And when you do that, you come back to your center. You come back to your knowingness. You come back to your calm and your natural resonant state. You come back to the remembrance of why you're here, what you want to do. You come back to, at least for me at this time, excitement of creative things that I want to work on, things I want to pump my energy into. So again, I'm making this video now because in this world right now that we live in, there's so many distractions, right? And depending on who you are, they're a little bit different, but for all of us, especially our phones, there's so many distractions that are pulling us away from coming back to center. And when you're not in center, which is most people, by the way, no judgment, but that's where most people are in this world, you're gonna make decisions from not center, which again means acting from fear, acting from a place of rushedness, acting from a place of desperateness, acting from a place of lack. So you're going to be much more easily convinced by illusions of lack, disease, loneliness, shame. You're going to act on those things versus just feeling them, versus just allowing them to process through your body and come out the other end and stay in your neutral state. So, for example, someone who perhaps isn't in their center may feel these feelings of fear and lack around money, and instead of sitting with that and allowing it to process through them and remaining in their center and remaining in their knowingness why they're here and what their actual talents and gifts are, and allowing the cake of their business, of their entrepreneurship, of their dream career, of whatever, blossom, and allow that cake to bake in the oven in their center. They they get a different job. They get a survival job that isn't that suppresses who they really are, and that is just for the sake of making money. That's what happens when you're out of your center and you let fear dictate the show. This happens a lot in the medical field, where you're so hypnotized by fear. When I say fear is so out of your center. In your center, it's from love. In your center, it's from peace. And from your center, there's no rush. There's no you need to act now. There may be certain times where you're so aligned that you get to act now, but it's not coming from a place of fear. It's coming from a place of love. It's very different. But for example, coming from a place of fear, oh my God, something feels not right in my body. I need to go see a dentist. I need to go see a specialist. I need to go see a doctor because I don't want this to get worse. Again, that's a very common fear thought that motivates people to use a system outside of their self versus being more self-sufficient with their own health and reclaiming their sovereignty with their own health. So again, there's no right or wrong, but just notice these things. Notice that when you're in your center, you'll say, okay, I'm experiencing this. I don't necessarily need to go to this person who is going to save me. You stop doing things like that. And again, if you're in the Western medicine program right now, or like in that matrix, it's okay, it's fine. But the more you find yourself in your center, the less you're going to be pulled by those fears, and the more you're going to be like, maybe I don't have to go to the dentist and get my mouth blasted with fluoride if that's not for me anymore. Maybe there's a different alternative to the dis-ease that's going on in my body. And, again, the more you're in your center, the more you do this work, the more that you realize that there's alternatives and new choices you can make for literally everything. When you're in your center, guys, if you ever done improv in your life, you start living your life by doing new choice. Because a lot of us, most people, 99.9, everyone to a degree, has grown up in some way disempowered by our society, right? So where am I going with this? Basically, yeah, you new choice everything, because most of us have lived our lives not in our center, and our normal, or what we call normal society norms, right, are actions and beliefs and paradigms that are coming from a place of not being in your center, of not coming from love, not coming from peace, not coming from the knowingness that our natural state is health, that our natural state is abundance, that our natural state is connection with self and with others, that our natural state is expression and being who we actually are, not needing to suppress ourselves for a career, for a job, for people to like us, whatever it is. We've been so hypnotized by other things, by advertisements, by the culture we live in, where we have this idea that, physical things and purchasing things will give us our happiness. We've been so lopsided out of our center that that it seems odd at times, because a lot of people, the norm is not being in your center. But again, when you come back to it, when you give yourself, it could be 2 hours, but it could be 30 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. It could be, whatever the next level is for you. When you give yourself that space and that quiet time and that time away from distractions and notifications and stimuli, you'll come back, and you will do so as the awareness that you actually are, and not as the emotions that are controlling so many people. And I say this to the relevance of this video, coming back to your center within 2021 and what we're about to step into in the fall. Because guys, if you think we're going back, headed back towards normal, any sort of normal, jump off that train, because we ain't going back to normal. The amount of stimuli, the amount of external events that will try and take you out of your center, because there's an agenda behind taking you out of your center, right? People benefit. Many of these systems that are about to collapse, that are on their way out, that are rooted in greed, manipulation, mind control, etc., have been benefiting financially and just via power, via control, benefit from you being out of your knowingness, being out of your center, being out of the awareness and the consciousness that you have of, oh my gosh, I am good. Again, my natural state is health, my natural state is abundance, my natural state is flow, is love. The systems are going to do everything they can. I mean, that's a big majority of the political system and the sports entertainment systems are to get you to focus on something else aside from you, aside from your center, right? Putting your energy, all day, every day on something else. The people who are in these systems don't want a powerful population that is grounded, that is at peace with themselves, that no longer acts from fear. Because when you have a human population that no longer acts from fear, people who are benefiting from a human population acting from fear are going to no longer have that power. So, yeah, I hope this video helps. You get to stay in your center. And you get to keep coming back to that, right? There's no person who is always in their center. The path of spirituality, of awakening, whatever you want to call it, awareness, is coming back to your center and then going out again, and then coming back and going out again. And whether it's just sitting with yourself, or taking a bath, or working out, or taking a walk, or whatever it is for you. Listening to music is a big one for me. Taking a nap. Whatever it is. Just disconnecting from the phone, from the social media, from the dating apps, from whatever it is. When you allow yourself to do that over and over again, you're going to experience much more flow and much more peace in a world that is headed for externally increasing chaos, anxiety, fear, dis-ease, disharmony with themselves, all of that. You don't have to participate in that. When you're in your center, you can see it, you can watch it as a movie, you can get your popcorn ready, but you don't have to be in it. Does that make sense? I hope so. Alright guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please give my channel a subscribe, a like. If you feel called to give me a donation, I'll put a PayPal link in the the description of this video. And if you feel called to work with me, I'm opening up what I call energy sessions. It kind of is mysterious when I call it like that, I feel like, but really it's just helping people come back to themselves. Whether you're dealing with health, disease issues, or you're feeling very overwhelmed in financial areas, or you're feeling heaviness in your relationships or in your career or anything in your life, I just help you come back to you. This is exactly what this video is about, coming back to your center. And it's more for me, you know, I rather have like 2 or 3 energy sessions with someone and really have them learn how to trust themselves and do the work themselves than, again, perpetuate this idea of you need me as a coach or you need me as, you know, someone to get advice from. Because again, at the end of the day, we are our own life coaches, health coaches, gurus. You know, I'm just here to help some people facilitate and awaken and initiate and activate that within people. And again, if it takes 1 or 2 or 3 sessions, great. But again, for anyone that you're working with in this space, in the spiritual space, if you're working for them longer than that, you know, like, therapy is such a illusory business in some ways, because, you know, you see people go to a therapist for a year, 2 years, God help us, 5 years, and they still kind of stay the same because they've given their power away to that therapist. So these energy sessions, again, the link in the description that I'm offering, wouldn't be that way, because it's empowering you. It's showing you that you are your own therapist. You are your own ride or die. You are your own savior in all capacities. So I'm excited to offer that. And yeah, anything else? I don't think so. Be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself. A lot's gonna change in the next coming weeks, and especially August, maybe some changes, but especially I'm feeling September and October. So again, the more that you can stay in your center, the more that you can honor what you're going through right now and not make it wrong, woof, the easier it's gonna be, and the more that you can enjoy the roller coaster that is the human experience right now, even the ups and the downs, right? There's a beauty in the sadness, even in the anxiety and the fear and the frustration, when you can start watching it again from your center and being the observer of it all. Like I said, you can just put your hands up, woo, and enjoy the roller coaster ride of the human experience right now, because it's gonna get crazier. But again, you don't have to be in it. You don't have to be flying around with the debris in the tornado. You can be in the eye of the storm, watching it, moving through it, but not devastated by it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys, and I'll talk to you soon in my next video, whenever that is. Take care. Peace.